Hi everyone, Delurleon here. I just wanted to talk through this run I just got where I got the Full House trophy and reached room 46 all within 18 minutes. I figured talking through it might be helpful for anyone who's struggling with the Full House trophy or the Day 1 trophy or is just interested in speedrunning and some speedrunning tips because this run pretty much has it all. As you saw at the beginning there, I immediately reset when I opened a closet and got the, what are those called? The sleep goggles, sleep whatever, because they're not useful at all for a run like this. Speedrunners generally, the first door they open is the closet, and generally the most useful thing are the shoes, the running shoes, because that increases movement speed, or the silver key, because that helps you get slightly more likely odds of drafting the pool, and the pool is critical to a speedrun. But for these full house oriented runs, I found that keys are really the most important thing that you'll probably run out of. So here I got the metal detector, which is great because it increases the odds that you might find some stray keys around the house. In this run, I don't think it helped that much. I think it helped me find a few extra keys, but that can make or break a run. I'd say another useful item for this kind of run is the sledgehammer, because then you can open a lot of chests and not have to use keys to do that. Like right here, I had to use a key on this chest, or a trunk, I should say. But the trunks are still really useful overall. I would definitely, if you're speedrunning and you're hesitant to use a key on a trunk, I would say do it. You'll often get another key in the trunk, or just something that is overall useful. Now, what I'm doing for this full house oriented speedrun is I like to build up the east side of the house and then kind of reach a natural stopping point and then backtrack and build up the west side of the house all the way up to, the antechamber as much as possible. I've found that this is generally just an approach that works well for full house. Definitely the west side is where you do want to focus more of your attention. That's why I start with the east side, because it matters less. Because the west side is where the garage is. And if you're also trying, like me, to reach room 46 in one day, you'll need the garage to access the outer room and the tomb. I'll talk about that more later, but right now, yeah, you'd see I'm just kind of gathering all the items I can from this side of the house, just drafting rooms that kind of make sense. I am playing on Xbox, and so the controls are a little janky, especially for this billiard puzzle. I have to spin it the perfect amount, and I sometimes input the wrong number, and that's annoying. But in this case, we got 2 keys. Not great. It's okay for this kind of run. Generally, you'll want the garden key, because then you'll have an antechamber lever from the garden, or the silver key, because that will help you get the pool. The silver key drafts rooms with more doors, and the pool has 3 doors. And if you use the silver key on one of the edges, it can only give you rooms with 3 doors. So it kind of gives you decent but not great odds of getting the pool. And the pool is really important because for a speedrun, you need the pump room to lower the reservoir. But I'll talk more about that when that happens. The library sometimes gives you the pool right away, actually, because it's a low odds room, and that's what the library does. It gives you low odds rooms. So I was hoping for that, but no. But the veranda is decent. So these trunks are really giving me coins, and usually that would annoy me. But at a certain point, you get so many coins that they actually are useful, because you can buy gems or keys. I forget what I end up spending a lot of these coins on, so we'll have to see. I know I spend them on food towards the end of the run, but I think, yeah. Oh, so the garage you'll need for a day 1 run. I think, is that definitely true, or is there a way to not need the garage? I'm pretty sure you'll absolutely need the garage. I can think of no way to do a day 1 run that's reasonable without the garage, or maybe it's impossible. I'd have to double check that. But you need the garage to access the outer room, and you're going to want to get the tomb as your outer room, because then you can, once the reservoir is drained, access both sides of that. What is it? The mine cart that you need to solve the clock puzzle to reach the antechamber lever. Yeah. So I needed the garage there. If you don't draft it there, so it'll usually show up on the 4th rank of the west wing, but if you skip it there or if it doesn't show up, you can sometimes get it later, but the odds are a lot lower. So I would say if you get it on that 4th rank, just keep it and just go for it. You need it, so take it. So looking at where we are in this run right now, 7 keys is decent. 1 gem is not good. So I think probably, yeah. So I bought quite a few gems, and I think that was a good move. I could have bought running shoes as well, just to increase movement speed, but I think it's better to save the coins for gems and keys. So security is an important one here as well, because you're going to want to increase the security level to get more security doors, because then that's fewer doors you need to spend keys on. And you can unlock those security doors using the what is that room called? The utility closet. But I think, I can't remember, but don't I actually already have a key? One of those swipe cards? Because if so, then you don't need to turn off so there's utility closet, but you know, I don't want to block myself in with a dead end. So as long as I have the key, I don't critically, so there, I got it then. So I don't need to actually turn off the security doors. I can just, you know, use my key. Now, at this point, I'm thinking about, like, how am I actually going to access room 46? What antechamber lever am I probably going to want to get? And right now, the odds aren't looking good for any of them, because I haven't gotten the garden key, and I don't have enough keys to open a bunch of doors in the Great Hall. So I see this greenhouse, and I'm like, well, I don't have the lever, but maybe I'll get it. So it's probably worth drafting it here, and it costs a gem, but it usually has a nice item in it anyway, so the greenhouse is a nice room to draft. I spent a little bit of time looking around for what's beeping. Coins are, you know, single coins are not really worth my time. I'm hoping that I'm getting keys, but, you know, I'm never quite sure what I'm going to be getting. Lab can be good. You can get some nice experiments. It's, you know, always nice to see a trunk when you have a sledgehammer. That's just free items. And I take, well, interesting, they're all 3-door rooms. I should have chosen the dark room there, because I don't actually have to draft anything from it, so the red effect doesn't matter there, so I probably should have done that. The conference room is useful, though, but now it's kind of out of the way. But it gathers items when there's, like, a spread effect. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, like I said, I built up the east wing. Now I'm building up the west wing. I would say at this point I wasn't thinking my odds were that great. I mean, I have a lot of coins, and that's good. But I only have 1 die, or dice, or, yeah, die, I think. Which is, in these runs, you really kind of need them, because you really need rooms in a certain arrangement to get a full house. And so the more die you can get, the better. But 1 die, you know, is maybe going to be enough, or maybe I can find a way to get more. We'll see. Actually, what was the lab experiment that I went with? I think that was to give me more die, right? I just missed it, but I think it was security doors, or no, 2 or more gems gives me die. Well, now I'm buying just a bunch of gems because I have a lot of money, and so why not? I really need to buy more keys, but right now I don't have anywhere to do that, so yeah. Eating is good because my steps were definitely running low, and that's still not a whole lot of steps to complete this house, but, you know, I end up spending more time than I'd like just looking around for what's beeping, which is annoying. But so cloister is good, you know. I always hate these little, like, dead end regions that I set. You know, you want to avoid that. Like, those 2 rooms south of the cloister, like, if I hadn't gotten a straight room there, like, that other room would have been inaccessible. Luckily, I have die to make sure, and I didn't even need them. But you want to avoid that kind of arrangement. You want to just keep a kind of a clean pushing upwards of rooms bordering rooms, so you don't end up with any gaps. But sometimes it happes. Again, I'm thinking, like, okay, what antechamber lever am I going to go? And the secret, secret passage is good, because if you go secret passage and then choose the hall option, it's usually pretty much guaranteed you'll get the Great Hall, which, as you know, has a hidden lever behind one of the doors. You do need some keys to figure out which one. Or sometimes, actually, the metal detector can help you figure it out, because as you get close to one door, you'll hear it beeping, and that's often the one with the antechamber lever, because it often has, like, a key or some coins as well in that door. So a nice little trick. But it won't give you the Great Hall against one of the outer walls. It has to be one of the inner rooms. So in those cases, like, it wouldn't have worked. So I didn't go for that. I took the closet there just to get some extra items. Now this is nice. That's a guaranteed antechamber lever. That's the secret garden. So at this point I'm like, okay, that's fine. I have a way to open the antechamber, which is good. Although there's not many rooms left for where I can actually use that key. It has to be used against one of the walls, and not at rank 9. So it's only, I think, rank 7 or 8 there that I can actually use it. But here, okay, so I go for hall. I kind of forgot about this. So yeah, I think my plan here was not to get the Great Hall, because I don't need it, because I have another way to access the antechamber, but rather to get the foyer, because I'm running low on keys, and the foyer guarantees, oh, this is big, but the foyer guarantees that halls will be unlocked. Pool, absolutely needed, and I was worrying that we're getting very late in the run and I'm not actually seeing the pool, and that happens a lot with these. I've been trying to get this run for a long time, and the pool is very uncooperative. Same with just regular speedruns, but in this in particular, sometimes I don't get it, sometimes I get it too late, and what you really need is the pump room. So you could get the pool, but then get it too late to get the pump room. Now, there's pump room, that's good, but like, it's not really a good location. I want something that curves over, but you know, I really want something that curves over so I can finish this full house. So Great Hall does, and I have enough keys to open the doors. I actually forgot that I did the foyer thing, so I didn't even need the keys. But at that point, I was thinking, oh, I have to get the keys. Now, pump room here is okay. It's not great. Like, it gives me the access to the antechamber from that side as well. And now we have that lever as well, because we have the Great Hall with all the doors unlocked. So it makes sense to do it there, except that it leaves this annoying little gap along the outside wall where I need like a straight room, and I only have one key. But I'm figuring it'll happen, or it has to happen, you know, it'll happen. I have faith. And see, I was actually expecting to have to use a key there. I forgot that I did the foyer thing. So I unlock that. I just like hit the doors. I don't need to open all of them on the other side, because all I care about is now this side. And now I have no gems. And there was a gem sitting there, and I should have grabbed it. But the dark room is like, oh, I'm not going to know what I'm drafting, though. Like, I'm not going to see it. So how will I know if it's straight or not? Still, I should grab this gem. I should have grabbed that before, because then I could have, but that was silly of me. But so this is a very nerve-wracking, like, but then I remember I have the secret garden key, so it's guaranteed to be a straight room. So that worked out perfectly in my favor. And the absolute absurd thing is the final room I drafted in my house is the utility closet, which I had kind of forgotten about this whole run. You absolutely need it to activate the garage. I grabbed the trophy there. I don't even care at this point because I'm still, you know, on the clock. But I got the first trophy there in about 12 minutes, just under 12 minutes, which is impressive. My best for full house on day one is 10 minutes, but that's not caring as much about also accessing the antechamber, which adds a little bit of time and thinking and whatnot. And then I remember I don't have to open the secret and the secret garden levers, which wouldn't have added that much time, but it would have added time, and I wasted time just, you know, thinking about doing it because I already opened the antechamber, so I don't need to open it again. And I have access from both sides, so no need for both. So that was kind of silly, just a little bit of time wasted. Now we have not a whole lot of steps, definitely not enough steps to finish this run, but luckily we have plenty of coins left, and right on the way to the garage is the kitchen. I looked at the map and I realized that, and that's fantastic, and I get all the steps I need for the remainder of the run. If I hadn't had all those coins, that would have been pretty bad because I already ate dinner, so there wouldn't have been many other opportunities to get steps. I'm not sure what was beeping, but it doesn't matter. All we care about now is accessing the back antechamber lever from the underground. So as I said, you need the pool for the pump room to drain the reservoir by 1. I don't know if you take another look at what I did in the pump room. That is what you have to do. Oh, also, this is huge. The odds of getting the tomb are 1 in 3. So I did all that work not knowing whether I was going to get the tomb. So it could have been a complete bust. And I think I have done that once or twice, filled up the entire house and not gotten the tomb. I was hoping to have some dice left over to reroll if needed, but I didn't. So the odds were, really looking favorably on me there. Again, the other time the odds were fantastic were when I I got that utility closet right at that last rank, and I needed it, and I forgot. So I was playing this a little silly at times, but I mean, with the tomb, it's like, what can you do? Either you have the dice or you don't. Like, I needed them for the full house stuff. But I drained the reservoir by 1, and if you go look at the sequence of actions I did to do that, that's the fastest way. I learned that from other speedrunners. You do 2 of the levers and then drain the, what is it, the kitchen? I forget what you drain first, and then you drain the reservoir by 1, and that lets you get to both sides of the mine cart using from the tomb, and you don't actually have to move the mine cart, which adds a little bit of time. You just go to one side of it and move the clock puzzle thingy, and then go back to the other side. This is probably pretty different from how you might have accessed room 46 the very first time you did it. It's definitely different for me, where I used the foundation and the basement key, but that adds a lot of time because the foundation puzzle, where you have to move around those, or you go under the foundation to the basement with the basement key, and then you have to move around all these boxes, and I think there might be a way to do it kind of fast, but it's not that fast. This is way faster. And also the foundation is hard to get. It's rare, especially on day 1. You probably won't see it, or maybe you will. It's about as rare as the pool. I'm not entirely sure about the rarity, but it's like adds so much time. So you want to do the pool plus pump room option. There's another option that I've been thinking about that involves a pump room being powered by the what is it? The boiler? Is that what powers it? And then you can, if it's powered, you can drain the entire what is it? The fountain at the front of the building, and then you can access both sides from that. But actually, the process of draining it, I tried this, is kind of slow, and it's really difficult to get the boiler right next to the pump room, and so it's just like, I actually don't think it's faster. I'm not sure. But then you wouldn't have to actually, I think you wouldn't need the outer room at all. I think, is that correct? Because then you can go from both sides using just the fountain rather than the outer room. So you wouldn't need the garage. So that's what I was thinking about. I'm pretty sure that's right. But the odds of that are really low, so I wouldn't recommend it. But in terms of accessing the antechamber, we saw pretty much all the main ways in this run. We saw the greenhouse. We didn't actually use it because I don't know if we ever got the lever. We saw the Great Hall. We actually used that lever. And then the secret garden, which we didn't need to use. Also, if you have the sledgehammer and the broken lever and the battery pack, that adds an additional way where you can break down the wall. You build the, I don't know, powered sledge or whatever it's called, and you break down the wall in the weight room, and that's an additional south-facing lever. You can also break a wall down in the secret garden, and that adds an additional west-facing lever in addition to the an additional east-facing lever in addition to the standard west-facing lever. And there's one in the mechanarium, but I think you can't actually get to the mechanarium on day 1, or maybe, yeah, it wouldn't make sense. I think you have to do all this to get the mechanarium floor plan. So those are your options. With speedruns, I've seen good speedruns use the secret garden, and I've seen good ones use the Great Hall. I have a second place world record of using the Great Hall. Blackened still has dominance in the world record by 4 seconds. So I'm close, but I think I'm not going to continue because I'm getting a little exhausted. But anyway, so you can use either of those. I haven't seen any good ones use the greenhouse, I guess because the broken lever is just so hard to get. But I had enough way more than enough steps to reach room 46 on my way back. If I had had the shoes, which maybe I should have bought because I had more than enough coins, would have been even faster. But my goal here was really sub 20 minutes, and I definitely got that, and I'm really happy. And this is not only, did I get that, but this is my first time ever even finishing one of these full house plus room 46, because I always ended up, something at the end, ends up messing it up, but this time everything, I had really good luck, and it worked out. I'll let some of this video play. It's always very satisfying to see this after a day 1 run. But yeah, I achieved my goal, and I'm very happy with that. I think this is a time that is beatable, but I would not recommend this challenge to really anyone because it's really difficult and tedious. But I like the house that I built, that I inherited from my great uncle. It has a pool. It has a conference room. I'd probably sleep in the bunk room. I like dead end bedroom. I wouldn't really like a bedroom that has 2 doors. I think that's annoying. It has the garage. Dining room is nice. A little nook. Oh, a library. Lots of nice stuff that I inherited here. The utility closet way up in the corner. That might make certain things a headache, but the foyer is nice, right, kind of in the middle of the house. And the cloister's right in the middle. That's nice. I would hang out there a lot. So yes, I'm happy with the house that I constructed. It's fun to think in those terms because all of this is so abstract while you're doing it. But yeah. And the final thing that I'll show is, collecting the hard-earned trophies, I guess. I already got the full house one. I didn't really have any time to savor it, but with these three, we can take our time and appreciate what we've done here. And I'm happy to answer any questions anyone has about full house strategy or day one strategy or anything. I mean, I'm not expecting this to get a lot of views anyway, but I'm happy with it. And this is a fantastic game, and yeah, huge congrats to the team for making it.